Now let us see with respect to the different advantages of Selenium. Okay, advantages and disadvantages of Selenium. Okay, very common interview question, that what are the benefits of Selenium, or what is the advantage of Selenium in your project? Real kind of example they will be asking in an interview, but we can try to give the same answer for both. Okay, so the first thing is, it is an open source and free. We don't have to give any cost for purchasing of the license. Okay, the Selenium tool or Selenium automation tool is open source and free. We don't have to pay anything. Now suppose if we don't have to pay anything, then in that case it will not be an additional cost to our project, right? See, every project will be allocated with a cost, like for example, this will be the cost for test management tools, this will be the cost for QA team, this will be the cost for development team. Okay, some separate costs will be allocated to each team in a project, in an organization. Okay, so for that, for the QA team, we don't have to additionally allocate any additional cost for purchase of this kind of licensing tool or open source tool. So basically, Selenium is an open source tool which will not take any cost of the project in order to use it for the automation of any websites. Okay, so that is basically open source. Next is, it supports multiple programming languages. So whenever we are using Selenium, okay, we can either use Java, we can either use Python, we can either use C Sharp, JavaScript, anything we can use. Okay, it supports those programming languages. Now, for example, there are a few resources in an organization who know only Java. They don't know C Sharp. Then in that case, they can use Java as a programming language to write the automation scripts in Selenium, right? So Java will be helpful there. And suppose there are only resource are nothing but employees. Employees are nothing but automation testers. Okay, so Python, they know only Python. Then we can use Python as a programming language, and we can try to write the Selenium script. So it is multiple programming languages. So the Selenium supports multiple programming languages. That is also an advantage. Now cross-browser testing is possible. See, cross-browser testing is nothing but we will be testing the same application throughout the different browser. For example, consider we want to test Facebook. Okay, we want to test Facebook. What we will be doing? We will be using our Selenium WebDriver to test first in Chrome browser. Then we will be using the same suite or the same code that we have written to test in Firefox browser, then same to test in Edge browser, then same to test in MacBook, Apple. So it is helps. Selenium basically helps us in cross browser testing. Okay, we can test the same application through different browsers. See, whenever in an organization we will be developing an application or any website, for that matter, we will be testing with different browsers, like how it behaves in the Chrome browser, how it behaves in the Firefox, or how it behaves on the mobile, right? Or how it behaves on the mobile browser. We try to test that. So for that reason, we don't have to write separately the tests or the code for testing in different browsers. For example, we don't have to write one test suite for Chrome browser, one test suite or one set of code for Firefox browser. We don't have to write. We'll be writing only one set, and we'll be using same with different browsers, with different browsers by making use of different browsers, which we will see the cross-browser testing. Okay, so that is, it supports cross-browser testing. Now, cross-platform compatibility is also there with respect to Selenium. Cross-platform is, suppose you have written some code to test one application in Windows. Okay, then the same can be used to write it to execute in the MacBook. That is Apple. Okay, so it is cross-platform compatibility is there. Okay, and then it will integrate with the testing framework. See, We have various frameworks with respect to the Selenium. We have BDD Cucumber framework, we have TestNG framework, we have JUnit, we have PyTest for the Python, Unitest for the Python. Okay, there are different set of frameworks, but it it is compatible with all kind of testing frameworks. It is compatible with different testing frameworks as well. It might be TestNG, it might be JUnit, it might be BDD Cucumber, it might be keyword driven testing. So there are different frameworks that are present in an organization which vary from organization to organization. Like for example, some organization might be using only BDD Cucumber framework. Some organization will be using BDD Cucumber plus TestNG. That is an hybrid framework. Okay, and some might be using individual TestNG framework. Okay, so it is will not be changing anything. It will be common steps that we will be using to write the Selenium scripts, but the framework level changes we could see. But the main usage with respect to Selenium will be same. Okay, so it can integrate with different testing frameworks. Okay, it supports parallel and distributed testing. See, parallel is nothing but we are running our tests that we are running at a simultaneously in two threads. Or for example, consider I have to execute our test suite in simultaneously at a time. Okay, that can be considered as parallel. Like I will be executing login scenario in one browser, and I'll be executing some home page validation in another browser at a time. So that is called as parallel testing. Okay, that is known as parallel execution of the test cases. Basically, the parallel execution is used to save the time during regression testing. Okay, for example, if you consider that I want to execute a login scenario in one browser, and in another browser I want to perform logout scenario, so I can perform simultaneously. Okay, suppose if you are running in sequentially like one after the other, it will take 5 minutes. But if you are executing parallelly, it will take 2 minutes or 2.5 minutes, like that. Okay, so that parallel execution support is there in Selenium. Okay, and then we have flexibility with respect to the CI/CD tools. See, whenever in the organization when we go, there will be a regression execution is nothing but we will be adding the tests or the test cases which we want to execute once a new deployment is released. See, what is regression testing is nothing but if you are considering amazon.in. Okay, in amazon.in we have login page. Now what we will be doing in first time we'll be developing login page, in the next time we will be developing search product, like we try to search products, right? So if suppose that is being developed, then we have to test even the login functionality is working as expected or not, and as well as the testing functionalities, the search functionality is working or not. So in that case we go with respect to the regression execution. So there it is very helpful to integrate our automation suite with any one CI/CD tool. That is known as that. There even Selenium is helpful. Reporting tool, we can go with extent reports where we can see what are the number of test cases passed, what are the number of test cases fail. So those and all will be covered. Okay, so all these features, majorly all this feature we will be seeing with respect to our practical sessions, guys. Okay, the disadvantages of the Selenium are it is only for the web applications. The Selenium tool, the Selenium automation tool that we are using, we cannot automate the desktop applications. For example, this Word, we cannot automate Word, Notepad, whatever it is with respect to the desktop applications, we cannot automate. It is only for the web-based applications that opens in the web browser. Okay, and next thing is no built-in reporting is there. There is no built-in reporting support. See, report, I'll give you an example. Wait. See, this is a kind of report layout. Okay, this is a kind of report layout in which we have different this is a report layout in which we have different information, right? Here we have information with respect to total tests. How many total tests we have? We have 3. How many total steps? 116. How many pass? Here. How many fail? Here. So 2 tests passed, 1 test failed, right? 0 others. So this layout, whatever we are seeing here, right, it might be with respect to total test, total steps, time taken overall, start, end, pass percentage. So all this information that is being displayed here will be given in the report, and this kind of report will be helpful to analyze that how many test cases are passed, how many test cases are failed, how many test cases are skipped, what is the start time, what is the end time, what is the time taken to execute those number of test cases. So all those area of information will be covered in this report. So basically I'm trying to tell that Selenium does not provide any inbuilt functionality to give this kind of reporting logics. So that is a disadvantage with respect to Selenium. No built-in reporting, does not have native test reports. Okay, so that is a disadvantage. We have to integrate with tools like TestNG, JUnit, Extent or Allure reports to get the readable results and logs, right? So this we have to make use of third-party tool. We will be learning Extent report. Okay, so this is an disadvantage. Another disadvantage with respect to Selenium. Now another disadvantage is no built-in test management. See, we will have to depend upon the test case organization. We have to depend on test case creation with respect to it might be Jira or it might be Rally. So those kind of tools we have to use for the test management, right? To log a defect. So the Selenium does not provide it. We have to make dependent on some other tool. And steep learning curve for beginners, right? See, who can use who can use Selenium? Who have any programming knowledge, right? So it requires programming language for the employers or for the candidates to learn Selenium. He should be having one of the programming language, either Java, either Python, C Sharp, or anything. So it is not ideal for non-technical users. Suppose if some person is using who don't know anything technically about any programming language, then he cannot execute the Selenium. That is also a disadvantage. And difficulty in handling dynamic elements. Definitely we will be seeing difficulty in handling dynamic elements, which we will be seeing in the future sessions, that what is dynamic elements, how we can handle all those things. So that is also a disadvantage. And browser driver dependency. See, with respect to the browser, right, we would be needing one particular driver in order to interact with the browser, right? It should be either browser, Firefox driver, it should be either Chrome driver. So this should be existing in order to perform automation by using Selenium with different browsers on any application. So this dependency is also a disadvantage. This is dependent. We are dependent on drivers with respect to Selenium. With respect to Chrome or with respect to Firefox, we are dependent. So that is also an disadvantage with respect to browser in Selenium. And slow test execution. See, we have various different tools which are fast, like Cypress we have, or we have Playwright. So those are fast when compared to Selenium. So in Selenium, the slower test execution. And we cannot automate CAPTCHA, we cannot automate OTPs that we get, right? We cannot, it is difficult to handle file upload pop-ups. We have to be dependent on auto IT scripting or robot class, okay? So this is also a disadvantage and requires manual wait handling. We have to make use of different handlings like wait. Like suppose if you are executing our code and the page is still not loaded, it is taking time to load, then we have to explicitly handle that wait handling mechanisms. Definitely Selenium provide different weights, explicit weight, implicit weight, and fluent weight, but we have to handle it explicitly in order to synchronize our script with the browser or with the application. So that is also a disadvantage with respect to Selenium. But being so many disadvantages, why do we use Selenium, right? That might be a question, because it is an open source. It is an open source tool. Because organization or the project doesn't want any additional cost for a particular testing of a tool. They don't want to additionally spend. It is an open source, so that is why the Selenium is having more boom with respect to the market currently. Okay, and we should be having Java. So majorly Java is a programming language. So if we have Java, then we can even automate other programming, other things with respect to API like rest assured, which will also be dependent on Java, right? So that is the reason why Selenium is currently in the market, that it is open source, it is easy to integrate, it can be easily configured for different browser testing. It has advantages or at the higher level when compared to disadvantages. See, disadvantages can be handled. They are also open source things that can be handled. Advantages are more when compared to any other tool. Major role plays is with respect to maintenance, and as well as with respect to writing the code or integration with Java and Selenium. That's where the Selenium is currently in the market. Okay, that is the reason why most of the organizations are using Selenium as an automation tool. Okay, so these are the various advantages and disadvantages of Selenium.